Okay, so I am, what is it doing? There it is. Okay, it is on. It's just doing a weird thing that it's only showing me every 6 seconds that it's going. Let's see if it's gonna work. Okay, there we go. So I'm posting this to document a couple of things. First, this is my first full day post-chelation, post very first time chelating. And also, I went and did a very long, as it turned out, session with the BioModulator and biotransducer and various other doodads from the Senergy company, spelled SEN, the way that it is on the title here. That is a company that's based in Irving, Texas, I believe. And I had a little bit of a try of their product 2 times before, about, I don't know, about a month or so ago, and then one time last week. And the first time I used it, I had been having a lot of pain in this hand, but had it wasn't as bad the day that I was there and had access to it, and so I wasn't sure what it did. It seemed to be nice to use, but I couldn't really tell what it did. Last week, I was in a major, very painful, like so much pain that I was seriously contemplating having my hand amputated, and sort of what, how do I get that done and that kind of thing, last Thursday. And so I concentrated on that. It's kind of a wand. It's an electrical wand thing, and it has a lot of different settings and ways that it operates. It lives in a medical institute that terms what they do voltage medicine. It's run by a physician who also is just a very good engineer. And none of that is new to me. I'm familiar with energy medicine and voltage and goodness knows, I have lots of conditions that are exacerbated by different electrical and radiation elements, and so none of that is new to me. I'm familiar with Kirlian photography, whereby you can see what a food item or any kind of item is sort of radiating outward in terms of energy and how strong that is. So this is just kind of along the same lines. So nobody needed to convince me of that. But I used it last Thursday and it was very helpful. My hand was basically like this completely at best. And I wasn't able to straighten it out without having a lot of radiating pain up this way. That's never happened before, but that's where we were at. So it did get better. Kind of went in and out, but it was definitely better. And then today I went, I thought, well, maybe going right after the chelation, going into town, buying a bunch of juice and vegetables and protein would be a good thing. And on the way home, I went over there. I thought I was there about 20 minutes. It turns out I was there for 2 hours. And I really wasn't aware of that. Like they were closing when I left. And I wasn't at the institute. I was at a different physician's office who has one, who, because I'm a patient in other ways, they're just kind about letting people use theirs if they would like to. So I got to do that. It's very helpful because it's rather inexpensive contraption. And so I was there for 2 hours. I drank a gallon of water. I know this because I had two large cups, and I filled them up, just that many times. Still thirsty when I left, still thirsty now for that matter. And I'm guessing that that I had a surge during that time through the treatment, a surge of probably it didn't feel like a dopamine or serotonin surge, but I would guess probably an epinephrine surge of some sort, or whatever the natural one is, the norepinephrine or whatever it is. Because that's what it felt like. And then when I was driving home, whereas when I was in the chair doing the treatment, I felt very aware and like with it, and it was kind of the brain fog clearing a bit. When I was driving home, I was noticing difficulty driving in some ways, and um, so I thought, okay, well, then I must be in a high of some sort, right? Um, where there's some heightened awareness, but also some impairment. And so I came home, I had some vegetable wraps and some beef because since the chelation has started, my body has been very clear about needing beef, which it never ever needs or wants, but it does right now. So I had two kind of paleo beef and vegetable frozen dinners. And last time I had one, I went into a major attack. And so the fact that I needed them now was very different than lately has been this year. But I'm still finding myself being thirsty. I have just a little bit of a migraine. Um, it was very helpful. I didn't have as severe acute pain today where I could have measured, oh yeah, now it doesn't hurt kind of thing. It wasn't really like that, but and if I weren't, so I'm kind of detoxy now, which I was last night as well. I had to take a lot of supplements and then go to bed last night. And I'm a little bit like that now, and so I'm not real clear or fast moving in my brain. But I do know that the experience today was really powerful. Um, I did part of what I did was put the element on my head, and it goes kind of down the spine, and that was very powerful. I ended up doing that in some way or another for about an hour and a half. That was probably most of the time that I was there. Um, I hadn't done that part before, and it seemed like my body was just soaking that up like a sponge. Now we'll see tomorrow if I really crash and if me soaking it up like a sponge was actually just me being high on my own brain chemicals, um, or what. But hopefully the thirst for liquid will continue because I am post chelation, and so you want to be really hydrating a lot so that the mercury can move out. Um, Although I was out today and was not near my vitamins, I came home and took some vitamins right away, and that felt right, and it felt like that, it all went in and so forth. So, um, anyway, but this is my first experience with it, and I thought about recording this right when I got home, and I didn't because I was putting food away and such, but I kind of wish I had because now I'm getting more tired and more into the detox period of it. And it would be natural for something that is reorienting our voltage, especially when somebody has such low voltage as I have right now, that you would get tired from that kind of amping up, that you would have some fatigue from that. So I do have some fatigue from that, I think. But, it doesn't, I mean, I'm not losing anything in the deal because I have such enormous fatigue anyway. So I'm very thankful that she said you look better. I felt like I did look better. This light is pretty bad, so I don't look better in this video, I don't think. But there was more color in my face, certainly, even a little while in to being there. Energy was better. It really even just a few minutes into using it, my my breathing really calms and regulates real well. Um, as far as ending the chelation and what the day after is, I had been told that the day after ending chelation can be kind of the hardest day, which is another reason I thought I'd go do this support element. And I can say that the day after, even before I went and did the support element, didn't have, like, I've been very aware of my heart rate. One of my conditions is such that you don't necessarily, I mean, some people do have very high or very low heart rates, but you can also have the condition if you're just, for some reason, you become very aware as though your heart is beating out of your chest, but like it isn't. It's a real hypersensitivity kind of thing, and it's not a mental thing, and I'm not very good at explaining it because I don't really need to be good at understanding it at this particular stage. But it is something that's been going on for a while, and that was definitely going on through last night. But it was not by this morning. It was going on last night before I took all the supplements and kind of put some green juice in my body and put myself to bed. But by this morning, it was not doing that. My energy was a little up and down today on the way into town, but once I got there, you just sort of do your errands and the things you're there to do. So anyway, but the Senergy product really, I mean, it must make a difference because the fact that I can use my hand at all right now or straighten it out is amazing. But today's session was much deeper, and we'll just kind of see what it does. I don't know if I'll do another chelation round coming up this weekend or not. Probably won't be this weekend. If I do it, I might wait until Monday at the earliest if I want to do it again. Other than that, I'll wait until, I feel strong enough to do it. Because Christmas is coming, and that physician's office will be off for Christmas week. I'll go, probably won't go tomorrow since I did it so heavily today, but I'll go next week. I'll try to go 2 times next week, and see how that goes. So that's a little bit of information about that. Of course, I'm not going to post this public. I'm not going to put this into public YouTube space until I have enough videos about it and information about it that it might be helpful to someone, and just to make sure that people are not that it's okay for people to see it and so forth. So but it was a really interesting experience, and next time I do it, I will come home and video about it right away because I'm realizing I'm not really explaining it in a lot of detail right now because I'm just pretty fatigued at this point, and it would be pulling on cortisol I don't have to spare right now to do that, and it's after 10 o'clock at night, and so it wouldn't be good to try to grab energy by the throat and wake myself up again to that degree. So, but I hope as a collection in the future, this will be a helpful start to that.